All right. Welcome back to the shop. We're here at the old Cougar and we're going to have to do some work on it. Found out that the radiator is leaking a little bit, so it's got the factory radiator in it and it's finally giving up the ghost a little bit, seeing a little bit of leakage. So we're going to go ahead and put a 4-core aluminum radiator in it, and there's lots of them to choose from, but I'm going to have to take some measurements of this and you know, the overall height, the height and the width, and the upper and lower radiator hose ports, you know, just some basic stuff. Also the actual core height and width, and we're going to check all that out to make sure we order the right one. So get in here and check this out. So down in here you might be able to see a little bit of greenage right there. I noticed whenever I was running this thing trying to get the fuel injection straightened out on it, I saw some steam coming up that wasn't coming from someplace where the steam would normally come from, and it wasn't overheated. So I knew it was leaking, and so I looked down here and I saw on those fins there where some antifreeze was running down there. So that's why we're going to change this radiator out. Okay, I've already drained the radiator and unhooked the upper and lower hoses. So all I have to do now is just unmount it, pull it out of there. Now the first thing I want to do is get in here and unhook the wiring. I don't know if the guy who built this initially and installed this fan was smart enough to make this a plug. But we're going to cut that shrink wrap off of there and find out, because honestly I really don't remember. Let's get in here. I know I made a lot of plug-in connections and heat shrunk them, but I don't really remember if this is one of them. I'm trying not to cut my finger open. No, this is one of those ones that I soldered together, I believe. I'm gonna have to cut that. Let's go ahead and look. Make sure that hooks right to the relay. But we really don't know, do we? I think I'm just gonna cut this right here. Go ahead and do a new solder joint. It doesn't look the greatest to have multiple ones, but it's just gonna be a whole lot easier to do. But what I can do is go ahead and unhook the ground, because I believe it's screwed onto a lug here. That one's loose. There's the ground. Okay, now we're going to get in here. Somebody used some fine stainless steel fasteners on this. Well, that one's going to be a little tougher to get to, looks like. Transmission cooler lines are in the way, but that's all right. Get both hands out to get that one. And put that one back on there just because okay. Should be able just to lift this out of here now. There we go. Okay, now that we got the radiator and fan out, let's head on over to the workbench, disassemble them. Well, here we are at the workbench, which is actually a folding camping table. But here's the thing, man. If you're like me, I mean, you may not be like me, but for me, I tend to cover up every flat surface I've got with stuff for multiple projects because I can't concentrate on one thing at a time. So, you know, you pull together all the resources you got, which might be folding camping tables, you know, and just get them out and use them. That's just how we roll around here. But anyway, what I want to do is I want to get some measurements off of this radiator to make sure that I get the right one. Now, you can get two different radiators in these cars, a 20-inch and a 24. The 20-inch, of course, is for the small block 289, or possibly for the straight 6. The 24-inch is for the big block, which would be the 390 or the 428. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a 20-inch radiator because I've got a small block car, but it could have been swapped out. You know, this thing could have come with a 390 in it. I didn't check the VIN number. I'm not sure what it had in it, but I'm pretty sure it was a 289 from the factory, because this thing had pretty low miles on it. Right now it's only got 70,000 miles on it. It had 64 on it when I bought it the first time, and it started working on it. So let's measure this. We're about 20 inches, definitely small block radiator. About 16 and a half, 22 and a half, about 21 and some change. Definitely small block radiator. Now, we do have a small block in the car, so that's great. That's perfect. But if you notice, spin this around. See how both the radiator hoses hook up on the passenger side? Well, that'd have been great if I still had the 289 in there. But I don't. I have a 302 from a 94 Mustang. And because of that, the water pump exits on the driver's side. So it'd be real nice to have this over here. Well, guess what? The big block radiator has that. It has it over here. So I'm thinking, well, I'll just get a big block radiator for this thing. Well, there's a problem with that because that's a 24-inch radiator. And I'm only 21 and some change between the mounting holes on this, which means I'd have to do a whole lot of modifying to the core support. Is that a big deal? No, I can do that. But a couple of questions come into play. Do I need to? Do I want to? Let's do with the second one first. Do I want to? No, I don't want to. I don't want to do any extra work I don't have to do. Do I need to? Well, that would depend on whether or not this radiator or the one I'm going to buy would be sufficient to cool the engine. I've never had an issue with this thing overheating. I mean, it runs cool no matter what the weather is outside. I mean, it runs really cool, always has. And this being a 3-core radiator, I'm wanting to step up to a 4-core radiator anyway. So even with that, I don't think there's any chance this thing's going to overheat, not because of the radiator size or the fan. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to modify the core support. I'm not going to get a 24-inch radiator. I'm going to get a 20-inch radiator, but 4 cores. And then I'm going to try to mount it with this fan on it. I'm going to put this fan on it, put the radiator in, see if there's enough clearance that makes me comfortable. And if not, I'm just going to order a slimmer fan and put on it. Now, some of you may be thinking, why don't you just put that fan on the other side and just switch the wires around and make it a pusher, not a puller? Well, that'd be awesome if I could do that, but I can't because there is all the hood latch mechanism and stuff right in the middle there in the front, and it's within less distance than this thing is thick of the radiator, and there's a transmission cooler between the radiator and that latching mechanism. So there's just no way possible putting this fan on there. Maybe a thinner fan, but if I get a thinner fan, I might as well put it on the other side. So anyway, I mean on this side. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to order us a 20-inch 4-core aluminum radiator, and when it comes in, we're going to see if we can use this fan. If not, we're going to buy another one. All right, fellow babies. As old Johnny Fever would say, we got us a radiator. Just came in. Moment of truth, we're going to check this thing out. See if we got room for that fan. I'm very cautiously optimistic about that. I'd say more caution than optimism. But we do have a remedy for it. If it don't work, we're going to have to buy another fan, but hopefully we won't have to. Save us some money. Always nice to save a little dough. Some serious dough. Nice looking piece. This is the second Champion radiator I bought. I bought one for the Rambler back before I made a gasser out of it. It's still in there. They do a nice job. They're a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones, but I did buy one of the other ones that was quite a bit cheaper, and the quality, although it works fine, the other one, I don't remember the brand of it, it works fine, but the quality, the visual quality of it is not quite as good as the Champion ones from what I could see. All right, it does look like it's the right size. Looks like, let's see here. Let me find a straight edge to lay on top of this. just to see what the difference in height is. So I'm looking for anything less than an inch in difference is what I'm looking for, to even have an idea of, even to be in the ballpark working. So this should be, let's see what this is. We're 7 5/8 with that combination. 9 inches. Okay, it looks like we're 3/8 of an inch thicker with this combination with the new radiator than our allowance was. Our allowance was 1 inch, give or take. So we're going to have to get a thinner, slimmer cooling fan for this radiator for sure. All right, so I went ahead and asked old Champion Cooling Systems for advice on what fan and shroud combination I should get for this car and this combination here. So I went ahead and ordered what they said I needed to get. They said, well, they didn't even say. I looked it up, and honestly, I couldn't really find how thick it was front to back. It wasn't on eBay. It wasn't on Jegs, because they both sell them. But I used the old Chat Jippet, and the old Chat Jippet said probably 2.5 inches. So let's go up here in front of the car, and we got a few things we can do. I want to take a measurement. So we're going to rig up something here and see if we can't do a little bit of mathage on it and figure out if it's going to work before it gets here. There's a little bit of modifications I can probably do, but come check it out. What I want to do is I want to measure from these mounting points. The top ones are on the same plane as the bottom ones. There's 4 of them. From there to here. Now, I need to have more than 5.5 inches from there to there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to rig up something here using the old scales and clamps and whatnot. Let's see what we can do here. Clamp that up right here. All right. I don't know why that looks a little bowed. Like that's actually kind of bent there. Let's see if we can bend that back straight. Maybe. Let me see here. Yeah, that's kind of out of square. I can manipulate all this stuff a little bit. Oh yeah, that's better. That's more better. All right. Pretty good. Now let's take this one, drop it down there. I'm going to get as accurate of a measurement as I possibly can. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay, so looking at that, that looks pretty square with the top mounting holes and the bottom mounting holes, roughly. Ain't got to be exactly perfect. But I want to get in here and measure from here to here. I got a 6-inch scale right here. And it looks like we're right at 6 inches. That's not counting. That's 8, so it's quarter together, so 6 1/4 inches. So we should be 3/4 of an inch, have 3/4 of an inch to spare. And that's if it's 2.5 inches, like the Chat Jippet said. So if it's a little bit bigger, I can even grind this nipple off here, because we're not putting a mechanical fan back on there. And I can put low head cap screws in here too, with the socket heads on them, and get those back a little bit shorter. Probably cut a 1/8 inch off of those and take this back to match them. Gain a little bit more. So I think we're going to be okay. Well, like I said, that's great news. It looks like this combination of fan and shroud is going to work. While we're waiting on that to come in, there are a few other things we can do. I want to take a look at this sniper unit with these secondaries. The plates in there, they're sticking. They're stuck again right now. So I got a feeling there's an alignment issue with those plates, and even maybe there's sharp edges on them, maybe that are kind of digging into the barrels in there. And I want to take a look at that and see if I can get that lined out as well while I'm waiting on that fan and shroud to come in. All right, come in here and look at this, and let's see. I'm pretty sure these are stuck again, these secondaries. Oh, it wasn't real tight like it was before, but it still popped a little bit. So I'm thinking what I want to do is I'm going to pull that sniper unit off of there, flip it over, and loosen up those screws in there that hold those secondary plates on, and open and shut it several times. I'm not going to get them real loose, just kind of snug them up, almost like finger tight, and then just kind of open and shut the throttle plate, the shaft there, manually several times, and see if I can't just let them align themselves. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to check them to see how sharp the edges are, because I could probably just go around those and round them off and just kind of smooth them out, put a little radius on there, and they'll still work fine. But let's get it off of there first, check it out. Okay, let's see if we can get in here and liberate this sniper unit from this car. Let's go ahead and drain the fuel pressure off. One thing I can tell you for sure, it don't have no fuel leaks, because it's been sitting here for over a week and it's still holding 40 pounds of fuel pressure. That just dropped down. So that is great news as well. I like it. That's draining off. Let's see. Let me move the light over here a little bit. See if we can get in here and get this little cotter pin off of here. Get the throttle linkage off. Tell you what, let's throw a rag over this, just so we don't pop something loose, and just be my luck that it would fly up there and go right down in there. Come on, baby. There it is. We'll lay that right there in the fuel tray, or the tool tray. Sorry, the old fuel tray. Hook the spring. We're going to put us a double spring on there when we go back with that, because you got to have that for dragon driving. All right, the old dragon driving. Let's cut this. We got to take this cable here. It stays with the throttle body. We've got one zip tie here too. See if we can figure out how that unplugs. Looks like you squeeze it. There we go. Alright. We'll snake that out of there when the time comes. Looks like we got a vacuum line here. It goes to the crankcase breather. Come around the other side, see if I can get that. Pretty tight on there. Try to twist it a little bit. There we go. Got that loose. Got this. Like we got another plug here. Cable that stays with it. Actually, two more cables.
Where's that one go to? See, that one goes there. Oh, there we go. That one goes there. Go ahead and okay. Right. Now we should be ready to take the nuts off of the mounting base. Take that one off there. There. Okay, let's get number 2 off of there. All right, on the other side. This is pretty easy to work on, about like a carburetor. It's actually a lot easier to mess with than I thought it was going to be, which is refreshing, because I never messed with any of this type of fuel injection before. The most I've done is replace fuel injectors, and it's a regular passenger car, no hot rods or nothing like that, nothing aftermarket, all factory stuff. But Holley has really seemed to, they've made it easy on me, so I appreciate you, Holley. Can't get that washer over there. We'll try to worry about that once we get this off. All right, now let's try to snake all these wires up out of here. One up here. Oh, there's another one. This thing's just got wires all over it. I do not want to break it. Looks like you just pushed down on that. There it went. Okay. Now, got that safely. That's safely. This one here, that's the only one. It's kind of snaked under there. Set this out of the way a little bit. Let's head on over to the picnic table. Oh, wait a minute, I got one more. Where does that one go? Now are we ready? Good Lord. Okay. Go on over here to the picnic table. Take this off. Got gas all over my watch. It's going to be reading all kinds of crazy stuff. What are you doing? You got no oxygen. Your blood's full of alcohol. So I can tell by the smell of this gas, it does not have alcohol-free gas in it. It's got regular pump gas. So we're going to remedy that as quick as we can, because it's been sitting, he said, for 4 months. So that stuff just don't last a long time. kind of rots everything. Drain as much of this out as we can. Okay. Now, all right. There we go. And here are the secondaries. Let's get in here and take a look at them. Those, the primaries don't have any problems at all. That there sticks every time. It's just a little bit. I'm trying to push it open right now. This one here, no problem. This one here, I'm pushing on it a little bit right there. Then, so when you snap them back, loosen those up, see if we can align that a little bit. All right, so let's get in here and loosen these up just a little bit. Try not to booger them up at all. Huh. Right, so they are definitely out of alignment now. There we go. You don't want to open them too much, like I just did. Let's just kind of hold them tight there. Snug these up. They don't seem to be sticking now. These up a little bit more. Oop. Yeah. Feel good. Not sticking at all. I think we're ready. Good to go. Okay, so that was quick and easy. Got those lined up. They're working perfectly now. They weren't very far off, but they were off just enough to where they were sticking. So let's go ahead and throw this throttle body back on there before something falls down the intake manifold, because that'd be bad. Let's go ahead and gather up our 10,411 miles of cables. Put this back on here. There we go. All right. We know where this one goes. CTS. Coolant temperature sensor, correct? Thank you very much. All right. Well, you know, that's sticking up there, kind of like a sore thumb now. Probably need to run this over under something. That's really weird now. Oh, okay. Okay. That'll do. Okay, this long one here, this is the one that was kind of snaked around there. Under all those there ones. Get that up out of the way. Yeah. And over here, that was zip tied right there. We'll tie that back. Watch out now, little lady. And that one there, zip tied over here. We'll put them back here in just a minute. And then this bad boy right here, let's hook onto that. Like that right there, I think. Yeah. Just like that. We got to have these all out of the way of the throttle linkage there so they don't get caught on them. And it causes problems. There we go. I like it. I like it a lot. This one here. Yeah. Okay. Crankcase breather. Back on the old vacuum port over here. Yeah. It seems to be happy there. Okay. Now, put these back on. Those are fancy. Stainless steel. Stainless steel studs, stainless steel. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot my spring mount right there. Okay. Folks, I almost can't believe that I built this car. It's way nicer than what I'm used to doing. but I did it. Why that nut won't thread on there? What's the deal with it? Maybe that's not it. Maybe it's this one. Oh, that's why it was. We'll snug them down a little bit at a time. Crisscross pattern. All right. We ain't gonna go crazy with them, because they don't need a lot to seal up. We'll tighten them up here. We'll go one more round around them, just a little bit, like that. We don't want to break that base. That'd be bad. Really bad. Yeah. All right, I'm happy with that. Now, let's come around here. Hook our linkage and put our extra spring on it. Let's see if we can snake this down here. Maybe up through there like that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. I don't know about that. Maybe it'll go there. Well, we'll try it. We'll see. Okay. Let's get us a new cotter pin. All right. Welcome back, cotter pin. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. All right. Considerably stiffer. Really, I think I'm gonna zip tie that up there like that, just so it don't rub. Cable management never hurt nobody. Yep. All right, let's put this one over here. I'm not gonna make them real tight. I'm just gonna make them tight enough.
Well, Chat Gippet was wrong, Bobby Boucher. This is not 2.5 inches. It's 3.5 inches from here to here. And if you remember correctly, that was our margin of error. So I'm definitely going to have to shave off the front of that water pump nipple and probably put some low head cap screws in. But if I can work it out to where I can either shimmy this fan up or down or side to side a little bit to get this out of direct alignment with the water pump pulley, I might be able to get by with it. I don't know. What I'm gonna have to do is put the radiator in there and just kind of bolt it up temporarily and slide this down in there and see what position I can get it in. If it works out, then we'll bring it back out here, put it on the workbench, and marry everything together, bolt it up, and start installing it.
All right, let's just drop this down in here. Well, the bolt holes line up good. That's a good thing. Not a whole lot of room there. Does not look like 3.5 inches to me. All right, let's drop her down in there. No way, definitely not going to work there in that position. Houston, we have a problem. We are definitely going to have to make some more room somehow. You just had to have you a 4-core radiator, didn't you? I mean, no, I could make this off center. Wonder if I can just get 2 smaller fans and put them kind of corner to corner. Come in here and see what I'm looking at. All right, so here's the fan. There it is, flat against the radiator. You can see right there, got quite an overlap. So I'm wondering if I can get 2 smaller fans, one to kind of go in the corner there, one there, or here and here, and make it work that way. Or get a smaller fan and just put it on this side. I could put that transmission cooler on the other side, or I could just do away with it and pipe the cooler lines right into the bottom of the radiator. It's made to do that. It's for an automatic. I don't like having all my eggs in one basket though, just in case the inner workings of the radiator leak and transfer coolant with transmission fluid, you ruin your transmission. I could probably send this fan and this shroud back, because both those together were about $300. So I could send those back and buy 2 8-inch fans for about $50. Or I could buy one 14-inch fan or whatever for about $50. So I could save myself a lot of money. So I'm highly considering doing that, because honestly, this shroud, I mean, it's a nice shroud. It's aluminum. Well fabricated. I could do that. I could make one of these just as good as this. And if I had 2 8-inch fans, I could make one to fit the 2 8-inch fans. So I'm highly considering just sending this back and going one of the other routes with a 14 3/4 inch or smaller fan, or 2 8-inch fans. So I'm going to toss this around for a minute. I'm going to look on the internet and just see what I can find, see what's available out there. I've done a little bit of digging already, obviously, because I know about what the fans cost. But I'm going to do a little bit more looking. I might run up to the parts store up here locally and just look at what they have on the shelf. Take my tape measure, do some measurements, see what they've got. They might have a 16-inch fan that's 2.5 inches thick. I mean, who knows? So I think that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to make a run to town and check out and see what's available in the store. Because in all reality, if I buy an electric fan at an O'Reilly's and it quits on me while I'm out on the road, well, I can just swing into O'Reilly's and buy another one.
That's what I did with the wagon on Power Tour. We just swung in O'Reilly's and bought an electric fan and put on it in the parking lot. So it's good to have that, you know, knowing that I'm going to buy something that's just remove and replace. So there's that option too. That's pretty attractive option. All right, folks. Well, this video is starting to get pretty long. I've got a lot more content on this car, on the stuff that I'm doing to it right now, and having to wait for parts and stuff and getting the wrong stuff and sending it back and getting refunds and all that stuff. That's taking time, and it's adding to the length of the video, but it's also extending the amount of time that it takes me to release the video. So I think probably the best thing to do at this point is to end this video here at about an hour and then create a part 2 where we pick back up after we have all the stuff we need and go ahead and button the car up and get it running and you know, start diagnosing it as far as the sniper goes, the tuning and all that stuff. We got to get it out and drive it to do that. And you know, it's just salty roads and nasty roads and everything. And you know, if I was going on a drag and drive somewhere and it just so happened to be snow and salt and stuff like that, it would be what it would be. But I have a choice right now not to take the car out into the nasty roads and cause corrosion on the car, so I'm not going to do that. But in warm weather, once we get this thing all buttoned up, we're going to take this thing out and drive it and see if the sniper will learn. The car runs pretty good already since I got the injector issue resolved on it. So, you know, I'm pretty confident that once we get this radiator and the fan in there and get everything working properly, that the car's going to do really good. I'm probably going to end up putting some Caltrack bars on it and some racing slicks and maybe even some subframe connectors, because we're going to take this car to the track. I got a local track up here in Salem close to me that where we race, and I'm going to take it up there and run it. And I'm going to do drag and drives in the car shows, go get an ice cream, drive it back and forth to work. You know, I'm going to make it's a street car. You know, it's not crazy radical, but it's, you know, it runs pretty good. So I want to see what it's going to do, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So there's a lot more content coming. Like I said, part 2's coming. You might want to go ahead and click on the bell so that you're reminded when part 2 comes out. And you know, if you think about it, go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. It's you know, it's free. And there's another thing that I learned about called the hype button. And some of my buddies that have YouTube channels that I watch them, I've been clicking the hype button for them. And apparently that really helps out too. It's a new thing apparently that YouTube is giving us to use, and another tool we can use. So anyway, part 2's coming out. Be sure to tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun.